everybody, it's Chef Bob from Coral Glades High School again, and this is going to be the first video in a series of Belizean cuisine videos. Okay, so as a chef, I went to Belize working for Ramada in 1991 before it was discovered and before it became a big tourist destination. And I remember thinking to myself, this place is amazing. I went there on a one-year contract, ended up staying 14 years, married my wife who was Belizean, and I've come to appreciate the cuisine of Belize. Belize is an amalgam of many different cultures: Creole, Garifuna, Garinagu, Mennonite, am I missing anybody, Cruz? Maya, Latino. One of the big popular dishes in Belize, should I say dish, more like snack or an accompaniment, is something called Johnny cakes. Now I'm going to show you how to make Johnny cakes. It took me a couple of times to get them right. This is a recipe that I got from Cajalpech Resort in San Ignacio, Belize. It's actually very simple. And Johnny cakes, I know in the United States we have a similar snack called Johnny cakes too, but they're different. Originally, I read somewhere that the term was journey cakes because they would bake these back in the days of horseback and carriages, and if they were traveling for long distances, they would bake these pieces of bread, basically biscuit type things, and they lasted a long time. They were able to carry them with them for long periods of time. Therefore, the name journey cake, which somehow mutated to Johnny cake. At any rate, let me go over. I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees. I've got a baking sheet over here, which I've laid with aluminum foil, and I've sprayed it with some Pam. What else do I have? I have some good Belizean coconut oil over here, the real thing. It smells of coconut, right? I have a little bit of masa harina over here, just basically in case the dough is a little too sticky, I can add it at the end. I have a little bit of butter with a brush, and as far as the ingredients, to make about anywhere between 6 to 8 Johnny cakes, what you're gonna need is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 4 tablespoons of shortening, whether it be butter or Crisco or whatever. In this case, I've used a margarine. Okay, so 4 tablespoons of margarine, half a teaspoon of salt, about a teaspoon of sugar, and it's 2 tablespoons of baking powder, not soda, and that's it. The other thing that you'll need, the liquid, is traditionally coconut oil. So I have it right here. I like to use a high-fat coconut oil, and these cans over here, let me show you. I'm using a Ocho Rios Jamaican coconut, coconut milk. I've already made another batch previously because I wanted to show you what it looks like when it's baked. So I have a cup in here still. So I'm gonna set this over here and I'm going to go and show you. First of all, basically what we're doing here is now we're going to break this up. Actually, let me do this in a simpler way. I'm gonna put these ingredients, and this is gonna be a little messy. Here we go. Put them in a bowl because it's easier. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna break up the shortening into the mixture of flour, salt, sugar, and baking powder. You want it to become like gravelly. This is like when you're making biscuits, American style biscuits. You're breaking up the fat into the flour so that it's pebbly, right? The purpose for that is so that when you actually add your liquids to this and then bake it, the fat crumbled within the dough slowly starts to melt, and permeates the dough, permeates throughout the Johnny cake or throughout the biscuit. So you want to break it up. It's got to be gravelly, okay? By the way, this is unsifted. I did not sift the flour, okay? So I'm going to keep breaking it up. And like I said, this is a little messy, but you know what? Baking sometimes can be messy. You're going to get it off your hands, all over your hands. I took off my rings. You don't want to be wearing rings when you do this. Okay, so as you can see now, it's crumbly. The dough is crumbly. If there's big pieces of fat in there, just check. You don't want that. You want it the size of like pebbles, okay? So that's about right. At this point, you add half of your coconut milk. And mix. I'm gently mixing this together. There we go. And you see what it's looking like, right? You do not want to knead this a long time. Just want to mix it together until it forms a nice dough. All right, so now I'm going to add the rest of the coconut milk. There we go. I like to use a high-fat coconut milk. I don't know if I already said that, just because it tastes better. And it's better on the tongue. It's better on the palate, okay? So now I'm bringing this together, and as you can see the dough, here it is. I'm going to be putting it on the board over here and working with it so you'll get a better view of it. This does feel a little wet, which is why I have my masa harina, just in case, because you don't want it too wet. You want to be able to roll it out, and I'm going to scoop this out here and I'm going to put it on my board, and then you can see this better. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay. Okay. So here you have the dough. As you can see, it's a little sticky, but actually this might work. I'm going to put a little bit, maybe dust my hands with masa harina, sprinkle a little bit on there. And if you don't know what masa harina is, I'm sorry, I just assumed everybody would know that. It's basically Mexican corn flour. It's very fine. Okay, now you see how it's holding together. That is perfect. There we go. I keep getting it all over the place, trying to combine it all. And here we have the dough for Johnny cakes. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get as much off my hands as I possibly can here, and I'm going to roll it out into a tube type thing here. There we go. And then you can either use a bench scraper or a knife. In this case, I'm going to use a knife, and I'm going to cut it into portions. So I'm going to do 8 Johnny cakes out of this. Get the Johnny cake, roll it into a ball. And again, something that looks like that, okay? Put it on your baking pan. Three. 4. 5. 6, 7, and 1 small one. 8. Now, those are my Johnny cakes. I'm going to press them down. And then traditionally in Belize, what they do with a fork, you're going to pierce them all around. There we go. At this point, you can get a little butter. Again, you can use butter, you can use margarine, whatever you want. Put it over the top, brush them. And when they're done baking, you'll brush them again, right? And I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of coconut oil on them. This is not real Belizean, but I like the taste, so I'm going to drizzle just a touch, like a couple of drops. There we go. And again, brush them. And in the oven it goes. These will bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. And when they're done, let me show you what they're going to look like. These I baked about 20 minutes ago. And here's your Johnny cake, okay? And they're sure I'm going to come over here because I'm not sure if you can see it. These are your Johnny cakes. Traditionally in Belize, what they do is they put some cheese inside here, like a slice of American cheese or sliced cheese. But you can put whatever you want in it. And that's it, folks. So, Belizean Johnny cakes. Hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for the next video, which is going to be salbutas. We're going to be doing salbutas next period. I'm thinking school here. Thank you, folks.